So there's this very common expression where people tell you to respect your elders. I get so annoyed with that. I get annoyed with it because it implies that just because a person is older means that they automatically deserve respect. And now that I'm approaching my mid 30s, and especially in this day and age, um, I'm starting to entertain the idea that just because a person is older doesn't mean they automatically deserve respect. We should validate time, right? So, for example, if you're talking to somebody who's been on Section 8 their entire life and you want to ask them questions about buying a home because they're old enough to have bought a home at least twice in their lifetime, you can't assume that you're going to get the answers that you're looking for. And sadly, you can't get disappointed when the person that you're asking advice from who's older than you, they don't have anything to share with you. Like I know there are like older people that are always talking about back in their day, you know, if they were to say something or do something, there would be like some kind of major consequence. But these days, the elder of our time, they did not earn that respect. This is what I mean. Going back to the example of somebody who's been on Section 8 their entire life, that person can't tell you anything about home ownership at all. They can't really tell you that much about finance either because they've been living off the government the entire time. So, what happens to people like me? I'm young and I'm I'm in the middle, not too young, not too old, but I am extremely annoyed with the fact that I was one of the good kids. I was one of the good kids and I did what I was supposed to do and I did very well. Now that I'm an adult, I find myself very irritated with people older than me who I'm supposed to look up to not having any good advice or even not having any advice at all. Now, I know that's kind of mean that I'm like, hey, how come my elders don't have any advice? The reason why it irritates me when my elders don't have any advice is because they always have criticisms. Not to mention the fact that I see from my point of view that I might be putting a lot of pressure on people who are older than me, who don't have that many life experiences. Granted, but could you imagine somebody like me who's actually out here young, trying, and oftentimes failing, but refusing to settle? Could you imagine how I feel when so many people are like, you need to do this and you need to do that? And then when I get stuck somewhere, they're like, oh, well, I hate your situation. And here's a classic one. Here's a classic one. When you try, when you fail, and the people who never tried are just lining up to give their 2 cents. But I don't know. Just felt the need to complain real quick. I just wish that my elders were actually elders, but they're just bigger, older kids.